Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to have some real talk about Kamala Harris and what she would mean for the Second Amendment if she were to be elected president in 2020. This is all coming from a Californian's perspective, somebody who lived underneath Kamala Harris's reign and control for years. So let's get started.
This decision, the Heller decision, could impact public safety in a way that could threaten lives across this country. I was disappointed yesterday to read the majority opinion, which did not go far enough. Yes, it acknowledged that the Second Amendment is not an absolute right. Yes, it acknowledged the Second Amendment is not without limitations. However, because of the way the language was used to uphold the Second Amendment as an individual right, the NRA and others will be attacking San Francisco with the belief that the Heller decision equips them with an argument to say that we should not keep guns in locked boxes. They will use this decision to suggest we should not think about common sense regulation of guns in our community geared to keeping innocent people safe. And in that way, this United States Supreme Court decision is going to be manipulated to the advantage of those who can and will and have harmed others.
Okay, so a little bit of backstory on Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris actually got one of her big breaks by becoming the district attorney of San Francisco, where she stayed for quite a while. She ended up becoming the Attorney General of California in 2011 and ended up leaving in 2017, becoming a junior senator and also a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, where she took part in the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation, which I also like to call the Brett Kavanaugh trials. You guys might remember that during the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation, she had several controversial things to say that put her in the national spotlight. She ended up doing the rounds on all of the Sunday news shows, and then next thing you know, the entire country knows who Kamala Harris is. So she's simply just a 6-year Attorney General of the state of California who is now a junior senator. To be honest, she doesn't really have many incredible accolades other than the fact that during those times, she has been an outspoken activist. Not necessarily somebody who's working for the people, but actually somebody who is working directly against the people in an activist type role. Now, to stay relevant and more importantly, to stay in the public spotlight, after the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation was over, she said some more controversial things to the head of ICE, comparing ICE to Nazis. After that, she just continued her tirades against Trump and the wall and everything else that she would consider to be right-wing. Kamala Harris is not just a left-wing Democrat. She is a far left-wing socialist Democrat, one of the new Democrats that's coming up through the party right now, like Ocasio-Cortez. She is calling for socialized programs like socialized medicine and so forth, and she basically is everything that this country has been trying to avoid for over 240 years. Okay, so let's talk about Kamala Harris and the Second Amendment. As it pertains to this channel and most of my viewers, that's one of the biggest things that we have to deal with when it comes to our politicians. The Second Amendment is not under attack just on a local level anymore. The Second Amendment is under attack both by people with an R next to their name and a D next to their name, nationally and locally. So the fight is continuing, but the fight is just expanded to include the federal, local, and state governments. So it's been a very difficult one, and we have to make sure that people like Kamala Harris don't actually make it into a position where they can affect our rights, because she has made it very clear that rights don't matter. If they did matter, she would actually work to fight for them instead of against them. For instance, when a politician says, we're working hard to defeat the gun lobby. The gun lobby is actually a Second Amendment organization, or otherwise known as a civil rights organization. You have to remember that the Second Amendment is considered one of the 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights, and therefore considered a civil right. So if you call the gun lobby as a negative, you're saying that a Second Amendment or a civil rights organization is against what you stand for. So try and keep that in mind the next time you hear somebody say, we're fighting against the gun lobby, because the gun lobby is a civil rights lobby. Okay, so let me go ahead and put it this way. Kamala Harris is essentially Dianne Feinstein 2.0. Definitely worse, But when it comes to the Second Amendment, they both want to see it gone. So really can't get any worse than that. Nonetheless, if Kamala Harris was to win the White House in 2020, and you have Dianne Feinstein still a senator, Dianne Feinstein is going to try and put through her assault weapons ban. And if the Democrats hold the Senate and the House, and you have Kamala Harris, guaranteed that assault weapons ban, which we'll be calling the assault weapons ban of 2021 or something, would definitely go through. She would sign it in an instant and in a heartbeat. And if you think that Kamala Harris can't win, people, I've heard this. She can't win because she wants socialized medicine. She can't win because of this. She can't win because of that. Be very careful what you say, because if you just automatically think that she can't win, then we can end up in some real trouble. And I'll tell you why. Because she can speak. Like her or not, she has charisma. She can fire people up. She can fire up the left. She can take those moderate lefts and push them just a little bit more left just to get their vote, because people don't want to see Trump in the White House again. And if those people are fired up for a woman, 2, a woman of color, and 3, a woman that can speak really well and get her message across really well, I'm telling you guys, she is definitely one that we need to watch out for. Okay, she can be trouble. That's why other people have already dropped out of the race once she got in. You know, they know that they're going to be up against a difficult one. So we don't know who all is going to be running on the Democratic side, but when it comes to Kamala Harris, she is an F minus 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 minus. She cannot get into the White House. If she does, pretty much say goodbye to the Bill of Rights. You know, or we're going to have to take them back ourselves. Nonetheless, it would be bad. So for all those people who were wondering who Kamala Harris was, that's who she is. Let's make sure that we get out and that we vote.